Hey everyone, it's Christy Trainer talking to you from a humble abode in Westminster, British Columbia, Canada. Well, today is April 20th. April 20th, right? And it's day 139 on my everyday journey. Woo! I hit 139. Tomorrow's 140, which is Easter Sunday. I love that. Because it's now the long weekend, Easter weekend, right? Now, I'm trying to make this a little shorter today because I really have a lot to do. But I want to get this sent out to YouTube, get you guys listening to it and watching it, and put this on Facebook and my Twitter and get going there. That's what part of my life is on social media, is to get my word out and share what I want to share. So I want to talk about forgiveness. Why that's a subject is because I was thinking about it quite a bit lately, and I have friends and family around my life, and they are always getting pissed off at people, and they're mad at somebody, and they can't forgive somebody, they hate this person, and this person did that to them. And you know, the very first time I forgave somebody was when I was a teenager, guys. You know, I was a bit of a loner. I was a bit of an introverted child when I was a teenager in high school. But I had only a few friends, and I had this one friend I really liked, and we'd sit on the bus and have fun. And something happened. She kind of turned her tables and stopped being my friend, and she'd sit on the bus with a new friend, and they both would taunt and tease me all the time. And I felt horrible. I felt terrible. Why was this person doing to me? What did I do to that person? You know? And then I realized down the road that that's just how she was. That was just the way she was feeling, and this other person influenced her, and that person was who she was. And I forgave both of them because I thought, why am I going around holding this grudge forever when I could just let it go? So I forgave this person, and down the road we just were acquaintances. We weren't so hard with each other. She didn't tease me so much down the road. We got to know each other, and we became acquaintances, and we were okay. And then I don't know where she is now in my life, so there we go. It was a fleeting moment in my life where I was learning about forgiveness and how to move on. And I was a teenager then, and I was a plus-size teenager. So that was the first instance when I forgave somebody. And I thought that was a good thing to do. And that was way back when I was a teenager, right? How forgiveness can help you as a person. How forgiveness can help make you a happier person in life. How you're not letting these grudges and hold these grudges and these anger towards other people for what they may have done to you. Just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, because it doesn't do you any good inside, right? It's like another instance with my ex-husband. You know, for so many years he was abusive to me in his own way because he was having his own issues in life, and he's an alcoholic. And as a result, it looks like we have a bit of fuzzy even though I'm doing tape. But as a result for that, he left me, and my son was a teenager at the time, and I was on my own with my son. And I wasn't really angry with him. Actually, in the very beginning, I forgave him because he did the right thing, is to just let me live my life with my son and see his son from time to time. And I forgave him immediately, actually, because I realized he was going through his own issues in life, and it was best to do that. So I forgave him immediately, and I started to do that more. Another instance was when my mother passed away, and I had to spend a lot of time with my dad for a whole year until he met somebody. And a lovely lady, her name is Joanne. She's a beautiful lady. He's made him so happy. But for a few years, he didn't spend much time with my sister, and with my sister and I. And he spent more time with her. We rarely saw him, and I was pissed off at my dad. I was mad at him. Why would he do that to us? We are his daughters, and he spends more time with his sweetie and her friends than be with us. But he was moving on with his life when my mom passed away. He had to create a better life, a new life for himself, make life happy for him, because he was very sad for a year when my mom passed away. So I said, okay. It took me a couple of years. That took a while. And I realized I wasn't being fair to my dad. He was living his own life. He was doing his own thing. And I forgave him because he's my dad. So that's kind of like the first people somebody should forgive, right? You should forgive your parents for all their flaws and inhumanities and how they brought you up in life. If they didn't bring you up as well as they wanted to, they brought you up the way they thought they should bring you up. But they still loved and cared for you as who you are as human beings. So always love. I always say forgive your parents. You know, I mean, my mother was a little bit sick for a lot of years, and so she was a little abusive in a different way. But I forgave her immediately because I loved her. And I understood that at the time she was being a little abusive because she was very ill, she was in a lot of pain, and things just transpired. And I've kind of had examples of that when I've been in a lot of knee pain with my arthritis, and I've been a bit of an angry bugger. And I realized I was doing the same as my mom. I was never abusive that way, but I still would be angry with people, and when I was feeling really lousy, and my temper would get up a little bit. And I realized, I'm not being very nice, and I back off. So I understand why my mom did that, and I forgave her for the way she was, because they brought my sister and I up the way they thought they wanted to bring us up. And they gave us a lot of good insights. They taught us a lot of good things. So I forgave my parents, I forgave my ex-husband for the way he was, because at that time he thought he was doing the right thing. He did the right thing by leaving me, but at that time when he was abusive, that's just how he was feeling, because he was an alcoholic and he was dealing with his own issues in life. So I did that. I started forgiving people more, and I felt that weight lift, that anger and that resentment against somebody lifted off of me, totally lifted off of me. And I realized that it was better for me to do that. So if you find yourself having too many grudges against somebody who's done you wrong, just go to that person, and spend time with them, forgive them, and just let it go. Let the anger and the grudge go. Because all it does is eat you up inside, make you feel angry. It doesn't make your life good. Because you're going around holding grudges, you can't forgive anybody, you feel terrible. It's because you're making that to yourself. And above all, forgive yourself. Pat yourself on the back on the things you've done so far in your life. Don't be angry within yourself, because I still struggle with that from time to time. Like today is a bit of an unusual day, where I'm a little bit, I think something's going to happen, because I have this strange feeling, but who knows, I'm a little bit empathetic, guys, and I'm having a little bit of emotional issues with myself today, and I'm having small successes so far in my online work, and they're not big successes yet, because I think I'm still new, so I'm feeling a little bit angry with myself, I'm feeling a little bit frustrated with me, and I'm not forgiving myself and giving myself a pat on the back, because I'm doing really well. When I started becoming an entrepreneur, online marketer, over almost 8 months now, let's see. It'll be 8 months at the beginning of May. I realized it would be a long trek. It would be 3 years down the road before I did really well or become more successful. But I was hoping I'd have a teeny bit more success after 6 months. Now I have small successes here and there, and I've achieved a small little goal here and there, and I'm happy about that. No, I haven't been financially sound. I've become a teeny bit more successful within the social media part, doing more things on my pages, doing more things through a couple of mediums I'm doing, getting more notices, more people talking to me, having more communication with people. That's what I'm doing. Creating more valuable content on my Facebook page and my fan page and my group and my other mediums I'm doing. I'm creating valuable content, attaining new friendships, enjoying new relationships as friends, and doing that instead as I start, because I decided that's one of my small goals to achieving a bigger goal. My big goal is to have success in social media. That's what my goal is, and that it could be three years down the road before that actually does happen, and that's why I'm in the long haul. That's why I'm trying to find different ways to earn a little bit while I'm doing it. So I'm having struggles for that, and I'm getting angry with myself. So I'm not forgiving myself for all. I think what it is you start thinking about the past and what has happened to you in the past, and and the regrets you've had from the past, guys. And so you have a tendency to be angry with yourself because you say, well, that's how it was when I was young, and I'm still the same way today. When actually you're not. People change over time. They just don't see that because they are who they are. So I'm learning to forgive myself and all the way I am as a person, because I'm a beautiful person in and out, and I know I am. And everybody, we're all beautiful human beings. We're all wonderful beings. And if we forgive people who've done them wrong, if you forgive somebody who's done you wrong, and you find yourself feeling better for that, it's because a weight has been lifted off your shoulder, realizing it. That person is who he is, that person is who she is, and that's good who they are. And if you don't really see them again, as long as you have forgiven that person and let it go, let it go. So yes, forgive your parents for what has happened, because they brought you up the way they thought they should bring you up, and through them you have a lot of wonderful things of who you are. They've shared with you, they brought you up in your way. It's like my son, he happens to be the way he is, and I feel really bad for that. and I feel that I have wronged him in some way. I didn't bring him up right, but I did the best I could when he was young, because we had a tumultuous relationship, my ex and I, and it was a little dysfunctional. So that's why my son has turned out a little the way he is. And believe it or not, I still am angry with myself for that too. I haven't forgiven myself, so I have a long way to go. I'm learning to forgive myself, and that's just the way my son is, and to be there for him and to guide him and to love him. That's all I can do. And I'm proud of him for who he is as a human being, and that's what makes me feel good, that I have brought him up in a lot of good ways, and he has some wonderful traits that I have taught him, so that's good too. And that's what I have about me. I have a lot of interesting things about me that my parents have taught me, and that's even better. Or my ex, even though he was the way he was still a lovely person in a lot of ways, and I learned some stuff from him too, because he was a very giving person to a lot of people around him. He was very giving. I mean, he's still around, but he, at that time when he was in good health, because now he's in a home and he had a stroke, so he's not well. But at the time when he was active in life, he was always giving to everybody, and that's what I loved about him. That's why I love him and I forgave him. And now the sweetie I'm with now, I forgive him every time he gets pissed off at me and he comes and apologizes. I forgive him immediately because he's a beautiful man. My sister, my brother-in-law, I love her regardless. She's never done anything wrong with me, so I never had to worry about forgiving her. So, and I've had a few friends in my life who've been hard on me and treated me in such manner. It's a lot of time through high school when I was young, but I always forgave them immediately because I knew that's how they were, and they didn't mean to do what they did. It's just at that time when they just did what they did. So that's what I'm learning about forgiveness. To love everyone around you. And if somebody wrongs you and they don't mean for that to happen, give a sense of immediate forgiveness of who they are and get to know who they are as a person before you start, assuming things about these people when it's probably not real. So forgiveness to me is the most beautiful thing you could do for people. To forgive and to let go and be a part of people's lives. That's what I'm thinking. And that's what my thoughts are on today, about forgiveness. That's what I want to talk about today in my everyday journey. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'd love to have some more subscribers so I can continue on. And I'm going to continue on doing these anyways. You want to know why? Because I like doing these. And one of these days I'm going to get more people to enjoy them, because I'm sharing them more on Twitter, and I'm slowly sharing them more on different couple. I do them on my Facebook, and I'm sharing them on Twitter now. I'm trying to reach more audience, people to get to know me for who I am, so they can come and ask me who I am. I always say, come visit me on my Facebook page, which I'm going to leave down below, and come start a conversation. Let's chat. Let's get to know each other. Let's be friends. Let me get to know you, get to know me, and let's understand who we are as human beings. And forgive. Always forgive. Forgive helps you within you. Forgive helps your mind and your body. Forgiveness makes you feel happy inside because you're loving people. You're not hating people. That's my thoughts. So, as I'll look forward to talking to you tomorrow on day 140, which is Easter Sunday. So basically I'll probably talk about love and enjoyment of everybody, which I'm already doing now, but I'm talking about forgiveness. Sorry, lingering cough from the bad congestion illness I've had for a while. Anyways, guys, my love to you all. Make today a great day in your everyday journey. Mwah. See you tomorrow on day 140. Bye.